guys, it's me, Jen, your pudgy picker, here again with another update on my weight loss journey on semaglutide, or it's a GLP-1. It is a shot I take once a week. Before I get started, if you have never been here before, welcome to my channel. If you're here, just you have found me somewhere, I'd appreciate it if you think about subscribing. I do my weight loss content, and I also do a lot of reselling content. I do garage sale hauls, estate sale hauls, auctions, thrift store hauls. I also show you my booth at an antique mall. So if that sounds of even remote interest to you, please consider subscribing. Also, before we get to the numbers, again, I have to state that I am not a doctor. I'm not a healthcare professional in any capacity. These videos are just documenting my weight loss, my experiences. All this is my opinion. I'm not affiliated with, being paid, or compensated by Mochi Health, which is where I get my medication. You know, this is my channel and I'm expressing how I feel. I'm not advocating, encouraging, or telling anyone you should absolutely go on this medication, because it is a very serious medication to take, and any decision that you make with your health should be considered by you and your doctor. How's that for a quick disclaimer? So, week 36. So this week I am still on the 0.88 dose. That used to be the 1 milligram, and then they changed it recently with Mochi. I don't know how it is with you know, regular if you get it from your doctor, if you get it from some other online place, but that is how my place, Mochi Health, does it. I do have a, if you do ever decide to take this medication and you do want a code for $40 off, just message me. I have an email down below, and I will send you the code for the $40 off. You get it, I get it, complete transparency. So if that's something you want to do, or you decide to try it, you get a couple bucks off. So this weigh-in is for week 36, which covers March 5th through March 11th. My starting weight this week was 216.8. My ending weight was 217.8. So it is a gain of 1 pound. My overall starting weight from July 1st was 264.4, making my total loss 47.6 pounds. It was a little bit of a difficult week. We'll get into that as we go. Food was usual. I was eating more than I should have, of things that I'm allowed to have. Does that make sense? So, yeah. So I had a few days where I ate a little more than I should, and the next day I suffered. So that is a consequence of the medication. If you are eating too much, you will pay for it. I don't know else how to say it. So side effects I had was nausea, a little more than usual, just because it was, I hate to say it's my fault, but it was my fault. Exercise, I'm still trying to find a way to fit that in. That is a battle. My mood was okay. Again, you don't feel good. It's hard to be in a good mood. I was going to go out yesterday to see my daughter and have dinner with her out in her neck of the woods, and most of the day I felt horrible. But I started to feel a little bit better. I took a medication, I think it's Zofran. I just got a few from my shot doctor to combat nausea. I am seeing my GP this Friday, so I'm thinking about asking her for some. I take it maybe once a week, if once every other week. It's not something real often. In fact, I think the prescription she gave me for was like 10, and that was 2 months ago, and I just used the last one yesterday. So, yeah. Upcoming appointments, again, like I said, I have my GP doctor appointment this Friday at 10. So next week, week 37, I'll be able to give you a report as to what she had to say about how I'm doing and her thoughts on when I'm on my weight loss journey. She, in the beginning, about a year before I started taking it through Mochi, A lot of places weren't doing it online, and I talked to her, and my insurance wouldn't cover it, and it was going to be about $1,500 a month. She told me at that point, that's probably not doable, and I said, no, it's not. And she said, you know, if your insurance covers it, I truly believe that this medication will help you with what you're doing. So she was very on board with the medication. So I started taking it, was almost a year later, and I started taking it in July, and I saw her in like October, September. So I'd been on it 3 months, so she saw how I was doing on it. So that was almost 9 months ago. Yeah, because I saw her at like the three-month mark, and then now she wanted to see me again. I usually see her once a year for my, you know, the basic checkup and all that. But since I'm doing this, she wanted to, you know, kind of follow up with me, not a year, but did it 6 months. She said, if you feel like you need to see me before then, it's fine. But things have been going well, so I'm just going to see her on Friday, which is 6 months from the last time I saw her. So yeah, this week has been a little difficult. You know, I've never really done, I've said this before, but I've never done a weight loss anything for this amount of time. So it's new to me that you're going to have ups and downs. Now, there's times when you're losing weight or you're doing what you're supposed to be doing and you drop off. You ate something you probably shouldn't have, you ate more than you should have, or you know, you didn't this, you didn't that, whatever. And, you know, you have a week where you gain or you don't lose. And a lot of times that's when you say, forget this, it's a waste of time. So to be able to get past several occasions where you have that, I'm tired of doing this, I don't want to do it anymore, which is natural. You know, your moods are in an ebb and a flow. You know, sometimes you're ready to just kill it, and other times you're just ready. As my dad used to say, you know, some weeks you're the bird and other weeks you're the statue. And it's true, you know. You can't have a, you know, let's get it, let's make this happen every day consistently for this long a time. You just can't do it. So understanding that, I kind of do a mental reset. I'm like, okay, let me see what I did this past week. I was doing that this morning. Where did I go wrong? Okay, I'm thinking about what I was eating, how much I was eating, and I pinpointed exactly what the issue was. And me and Mr. Pudgy Picker have had this discussion where he's like, man, I see you so sick, and I feel so bad, and I don't know what to do, and do you think it's really worth it to stay on the meds? And at that point, this last time we talked about it, I said, I know why I'm suffering today. And it truly is my fault. So it's not like I'm doing everything I should and then just the medicine comes up and just, you know, gives me a left hook. I mean, I actually know what the issue is. So when I tell him that, he's like, okay, I understand. You know, it's not easy to see your partner, your loved one, not feel good for whatever reason. And when it's something like a medication, you know, you worry. And I totally get that. So whenever we discuss it, he knows that ultimately it is totally my decision what I'm going to do and not do. But I know that even when you're doing what you should, there's a certain amount of nausea. And I know that that can be a deal breaker for some people. I tell people, if you don't like to feel nauseous or it is a deal breaker for you, this medicine is probably not what you should do. Now, I've heard that, I know Mochi does tirzepatide and semaglutide. Now, I've heard people say they've had terrible nausea on semaglutide, and then they go to tirzepatide, and that their nausea is less. And then other people say, absolutely not, that didn't happen for me. So it's one of those, you know, you can have people say, oh yeah, this and that, and then other people, no, that's totally didn't work for me. I mean, it's kind of the problem of maybe being on a Facebook group where people are talking about the medication. You get a lot of, you know, varying opinions, and it bothers me when I see people asking for medical advice like, I have this sudden huge rash, and they take a picture. Is it the medication? It's like, hey, ask a doctor. I mean, I could go I would ask people, hey, do you have a recipe for this? Or I'm looking for a dupe for this recipe, or, hey, you can do it. That's how I look at some of these support groups on Facebook. But when it gets into well, I took my first shot, when do I expect to lose 10 pounds? I mean, it's like, you get a lot of that. It ends up being static in your ear. So if that's something that bothers you and you're doing the medication, just log off. Either leave the group or snooze it for 3 months, snooze it for a month, and see if you do better without that constant blah, 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 blah in your ears. Sometimes having a lot of people talking about something, whether they are into it or not, it can be a distraction. And if a distraction is going to slow you down from where you need to be, then yeah, you need to consider that. I've even commented on another group at one point, and like I'll comment or even thumbs up on, well, that's a nice statement, yes. And then I get like an invite. They want you to join their page, and it's like, slow down. I don't know. I know how hard it is to moderate a group. I did moderate a group a few years ago, and it was hell. I'm just gonna tell you. For those of you that do watch my other content and you know what I'm talking about, I was helping me and one other person were running a group of literally tens of thousands of people. And it got to be a point where it was literally wearing on my mental health. So when I tell you this about even just being a member of a group, I know what I'm talking about. So, sometimes you just need to turn that off and say, I need to kind of be alone with my own thoughts and decide how I'm going to do things. So that's kind of where I'm at. When I have a week where I don't do really well, I do, this may sound morbid, it is morbid, I kind of do an autopsy of the last week. Where was I mentally? Why do I think I was eating too much? What was the circumstances? How was I feeling? And, I've really made this weight loss journey about getting to the actual root cause of why I'm overeating. You can say, well, I'm trying to lose weight. Oh, well, snack and chew ice and take a walk. And all that's good suggestions. But if you don't know deep down why you are eating, the reasons that are pushing, you to constantly want food or eat food, or what purpose is that food serving other than to feed your physical hunger, you really need to get to the bottom of that. So I've read some books. I really think I have a good, idea on it. And when I do have a week that isn't what I wanted it to be, I really do sit down and look, because I keep track. I have my my book, and what I do is I write. I'll write how I feel that day. I keep track of what I'm eating because I have my little food journal pages. So I got these. So there's this, I can look back and say, okay, I see what was going on. I see why I might have. How would I handle that situation different? How could I have done it different? Could I have reached out to someone and say, right now I'm struggling? Excuse me, but that's an issue with me. I'm not one that if I'm having a hard time, I'm like, hey, everybody, come help me out. I've, because of how I was raised and how I am very much a person that just, not talk to people, hunker down and try and figure it out myself. And I know that that's not always what I need. And reaching out at a time when you need someone, that's tough. So I get it. I understand that, there's some people that are constantly, oh, help me. And then there's other people that, you walk by and they're laying there under a piano that just fell and they're like, yeah, I got it, and I'm one of those I got it people. And I realize that that's not always helpful to me. And it's not, for me, it would not be a weakness to reach out for help. It would really be an act of courage. And I know there's a lot of you out there that are like that, people that are, they always need stuff. They're always. And I've never been that way. I've was raised in a way where I had to take care of things myself. And although that's not ideal, and although that's helped me in some ways, it's hindered me in others. So, you know what I mean? So if you're one of those personality types, you know, it's not a weakness to reach out. Sometimes we have to, and it can be a lot just to say, I'm struggling and I need some help. And if you don't have anybody who's trying to lose weight, have somebody close to you that knows you really well, that you can, you know, even ask them ahead of time, look, you know I'm doing this and I'm struggling, you know, would it be okay if I'm struggling just to send you a quick message? And 9 times out of 10, I think people are like, oh yeah, absolutely. So that's what I need to do. And I have a few people in my life I can really, you know, I mean, there's literally like 4 people, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people that I could reach out to at any time, day or night, and if I needed something, they would do anything to help me. And you don't need a ton of those people, but you do need some of those people. So consider that. Get a diet buddy. And they don't even have to understand the medicine. They don't even have to understand. They don't even have to be heavy. They don't have to be somebody who's lost weight or thinking about losing weight. It's just in that moment to say, I feel beat up by this, and I just need a little pep talk. And if that's difficult, take your phone out, set it up, point it at yourself, and when you're doing really well, have a moment of talk to yourself who's not doing so well, and just do like a 5-minute recording. Hey, you know, you're watching this because I know you're struggling, and I want you to know this period or this thing that's going on right now is not going to last, and you need to keep going. Do that. Or if you can't even do that, or you don't want to look or listen to that, go on YouTube and type, motivation speech, and pick out a 10-minute one and just play it. And it doesn't even have to be about weight loss. It can be like anything, you know, you struggle so hard and you got to keep going. And if you keep going, you'll get to where you're going, that kind of thing. So even just do that. And, you know, if you like the video, you know, go down and click, you know, save to your watch later list. And then you have it there so you can pull it up and re-drill it in, because it's kind of like telling someone you care about that you love them. You know, you love them all the time, or you love them, but you don't always say it, but sometimes you need to hear it. You know what I mean? So it's like, well, you know I love you. Well, yeah, but you need to hear it. So sometimes you need to hear something that will encourage you and to get you through a difficult time. So that's my little encouragement for this week. We're going to do better this next week. I'm going to really concentrate on why I feel the need to eat, or if I'm having that, I want to eat something, or I want to eat more than I should, to stop myself and say, are you good? Why are you really hungry? What's going on? So taking that pause is a big deal, because just acknowledging, I think I'm going to eat because I'm emotionally upset. Even just identifying that in the moment might be enough to just kind of push it out of the way for a time. So that's all I got for you this week. I appreciate you guys tuning in. So we'll see how we do. I was really, really hoping, what did I put? I really wanted to be 214.4 by my doctor's appointment. I just really wanted, to some reason, to hit that 50. It's still kind of a goal. It's only a couple of pounds away, but if I don't, it's okay. But I just keep pushing forward, and just keep going. I feel like I've spent so much time, so much money, so much energy in this journey that right now the idea of just chucking it all, I just can't. I have gone this far. I have lost a lot, and I'm not going to stop now. I'm too far in, and I don't want to let myself down that way. You know what I mean? So yeah, so you get a very introspective discussion this time, because I'm sure as I'm talking, and if you're struggling to lose weight or overcome some other issue, I'm sure when I say stuff, you're like, oh my gosh, I hear you, I feel that way. So, you know, you get it. If you get it, you get it. So what I'm going to encourage you, if you've stayed this long for 19 minutes and 46 seconds, please leave. I'm sure there's like a exercise bell or somebody working out. Put that down in the comments. That will remind me this week that I need to prioritize getting out and walking and doing things. I have really nice weather these last few days. I think this coming week, this Saturday, it's Friday or Saturday, it's supposed to be like 70. So it's like spring. Spring who? Spring where? So if you could do that for me, also leave me a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. If you have a question about any of the medication, about what I'm taking, or something that you have any questions on, ask me anything. I may most likely answer, but who knows. I do see your comments. I do heart your comments because I want you to know I'm reading them and I really appreciate them. A lot of times, maybe even if I go back and I'm having a difficult week, go back to, this week, last week, and just kind of read the comments. And even that's a little boost. So again, thank you for tuning in. I will see you guys next time. If you're subscribing, I have, I think, a couple hauls coming up, so stay tuned for that. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!